Good morning, everybody. Give this a second to get booted up here. Looks like we are live. Welcome, everyone, to Thursday morning, the Micro Moment live show, where we go over what's happening in the market, give our opinions on, more share with you our style of trading, because we don't trade in the standard way, and we don't handle a lot of the news that comes out, things that happen in the market in the same way that the average retail investor does. So we're here to share with you some of those things. But I'm here with Joe and Randy, in charge of our short-term and longer-term techniques, trading options. So, Mr. Hooper, how was the short-term trading today? Could you explain what we do in that room and how it went this week?
Sure, Micah, and good morning to Randy. Good morning to Micah.
Morning.
And anybody else might be attending? Yeah, but first, you guys noticed my cowboy hat? You new cowboy hat. So.
Oh yeah, that's the other kind of cowboy hat.
There you go. That's right. Yeah. What we do, Mike, we have what we call micro moment trading, and it's every morning. The market's open Monday through Friday for 30 minutes from 8:30 a.m. Central when the market opens to 9:30 a.m. Central, and we do what we call micro moment trading. Those are extreme leverage without borrowing any money trades that only last 15 to 16, maybe a long one's 30 seconds. We're in and out. We're always back to cash. We never hold anything overnight. Never hold anything over the weekend. And our average return, this is our 100, tomorrow we'll end our 138th week as a subscription service. We've been doing this for about 5.5, almost 6 years, but we do it in our own accounts. We still do it in our accounts because the people trading, Cezanne and Tim, actually trade in our accounts plus their own. So these are real accounts. And you sit there and you listen to them and you learn. You learn how to do these trades. You learn how to determine when you get in and when you get out by our proprietary charting, which is just fantastic. And that's what they teach you how to do. And we've averaged for the last 138 weeks over 100% per week. Lots of times 200% per week. This week, being the Christmas holidays and New Year's holidays, we're really down. We didn't have a trade on Monday. Yesterday we had a trade. Today is Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday we had trades, and we're up 60. We're up 70%, and we still have tomorrow to go. So with a little bit of luck, we can hit probably 90, maybe 100%. We average way over 100%, sometimes 200% per week, and that's what we do. And you learn that, and you learn it, and then you can do it on your own. You can follow along every single day, and you get to make your comments. You get people to report their earnings. They ask questions on our platform that we use to trade that, and it's just a fantastic deal. Now I'm going to turn it over to Randy because Randy does somewhat of a little different version of micro moment trading. He does micro moment trading also, but he has his more traditional covered call in the seminar that he does. It's a separate seminar than micro moment. But go ahead, Randy.
Thanks, Joe. Well, a couple things. I also do micro moment trading nearly every day. Some days I get wrapped up in other stuff, but this morning I already hit my goal, surpassed my goal. So I don't know if I'm going to do any more. If we get a really good setup, I might jump into another one. But I've already generated 21.3% return on micro moment trading this morning. I use SPX, and that was four trades, ranging from 8.6% return all the way down. The last one I did was just 2% return. That put me over my goal for the day. And so that's the one thing is I just try to hit a goal for the day, and then just stop. No need to continue on and just go over and over and over again. Hold on just a sec. You got to take a drink here.
We coughed at the same time.
Yeah, I saw that. I think that's why I coughed. There you go. It was a reaction to you. But I learned all the techniques, have taught all the different techniques, and use all the techniques throughout the course of the week. There isn't one of the techniques that we teach that I don't implement to generate some income. So I know Tim is the master and does the training every day, and I just follow my charts and get in and out. And the nice thing, two things. One is I just use the same money multiple times, so it's not putting a whole lot of money at risk. In fact, that's just one contract, in and out each time, and using the same money. So don't have to have a huge account in order to do that. Secondly, back to cash. So by the end of every day, 100% cash for those positions. Never hold one of those overnight. So it doesn't matter what happens to the market. Um, Somebody says something, somebody does something, uh, makes no difference. You just start all over the next day and follow the chart for entries and exits that way. The a little bit longer term momentum trade Joe mentioned is every Monday morning I teach what we call momentum trading using our daily advanced chart. So the micro moment trading uses the intraday streaming chart. So that chart is constantly moving moment by moment through the course of the day. The daily advanced chart um, is moves every day, and so it's a longer term look for entries of a position that will last longer term, typically 2 or 3 days. So with our advanced chart, which is proprietary chart for us here at Micro Moment Trading, we use that to identify the beginning of a rising cycle. And in our momentum trading, the longer term one, we do calls. Micro moment trading, calls or puts. In fact, all of my trades this morning on SPX were on the put side. Has SPX kind of topped out this morning, and I just kept following it down. But on the momentum trade, which is lasts a little bit longer, a couple of days, because the overall trend of the market is up. In fact, yesterday all-time high on SPX, the S&P 500, and the Dow both hit all-time highs. So we want to trade with the trend. The trend of the market is still rising. So that's why I look for the beginning of the rising cycle using our proprietary advanced charting program. And that advanced charting program wraps up, I think, 21 different technical indicators all into one chart that we teach how to easily understand and read that to identify the beginning of the rising cycle. Then we buy a call, let it go up, and sell it for a profit. So this Monday, and every Monday, I go through the charts and explain how to read, and we actually look for positions every Monday. And this Monday was AMD. So entered the AMD call, and I actually exited in an hour. So it was only 2.7% return, but for an hour, that's not too bad. I'm just concerned of what this week is going to do. Who knows the last trading week of the year? Um, the, there's all kinds of different decisions that the big traders make, whether they're trying to enter something to look good or they're trying to lock in uh, changes in their portfolio, whether for tax losses or tax profits or whatever. So it's a different kind of trading. So I take my profit when I got it this week. But that was a great return. AMD, the beginning of the rising cycle was on Monday, and it followed a great path and got out of that position in only an hour. And that one was identified right during the coaching webinar. So every Monday morning, I have a live coaching webinar that goes through and teaches. And when I find a position while we're teaching, we say, "Hey, here it is. Here's a good position." So uh, that's uh, that's great every Monday. Then the longer term,
Um,
yep,
I,
my,
yeah, when you're finished, I just grabbed a screenshot of the chart. It is the ice chart, but I'll just go through a brief explanation for anyone on here wondering what those look like, and then we'll take a look at the lines and what they
good,
mean. So
good.
go ahead, Rand.
And then the longer term trades that last about a week are my modified cover calls or synthetic cover calls, I call them, where again identifying the rising cycle on good, strong quality equities. and then we buy an option and sell an option against it for the near week, just the near term. I teach that process every Tuesday morning. Oh, every Wednesday morning. For those that don't know what a covered call is, a covered call is you buy a stock or an option, and then you sell a call against it. So you generate income. You get cash when you sell the call, and it's covered because you already own the long-term position. So if you get called out, which we want to be called out because we do in the money covered calls, different than everybody else out there in the market. We do in the money covered calls to generate cash income on a weekly basis. It's not to speculate. It's not to hope something's going to go up in order to make a profit. We make a profit whether the stock goes up, down, or sideways, and get back to cash. That's the goal. Back to cash at the end of each week. With that technique, I teach that every Wednesday morning. And so far this week, I've entered 3 positions for expiration tomorrow. So the goal is to be called out tomorrow. Those were on Amazon, Taiwan Semiconductor, and AMC. And all of them are in the money right now, and I expect will be tomorrow. But if they're not, then we have additional techniques we call management to continue managing those positions until we are called out, generating additional income each week. And so the market is slightly up today, and tomorrow could be wild. Don't know if it's going to be up. Is there going to be a lot of buying, hoping that there's going to be a good week next week, or is there going to be a lot of selling to make sure that it doesn't matter what happens over the weekend? Your guess is as good as mine. We just have the positions. The covered call positions are the most conservative process that you can use for investing in the stock market. So especially having in the money covered calls, that reduces your risk of owning that equity and lets you generate income. Cash, and when we say income, it's not just a number going up on a piece of paper. It's actual cash that's added to your account. The cash comes in right when you sell that call, so that you can see that you're making money.
Yeah.
I think what's really amazing is the leverage on these trades. For example, today there were only 2 trades yielding 6.25% and 2.84, but they're both Apple trades, and the entry price was $1.60. Now that's $1.60 for the option. Apple sells for hundreds of dollars, and they're out at $1.70. That was 6.25% in probably 5 or 6 seconds. So the other one was going in at $1.76, now $1.81, and that was 5 or 6 seconds. The previous day, the returns were going in at 290 and 330, getting out 335, 15.51, 6.55, and 5.9. So tremendous, and you're not borrowing money there. Those are just buying the options.
Yep.
And that's what the whole thing is set up for. And
that's what I've really been
amazing.
focused on this week, Joe. Personally trading is taking my losses, taking my gains quicker, right? Because of all of that leverage, because of all of that strength you have behind it, you don't need to be in it for long. You don't need a big profit. Just take a few cents, right? And then just let it compound over time, because that compounding is, as you say, the thing that really brings that curve up.
Yeah, that example I always give, and I'm sure Mike is getting tired of it. I know Randy's been tired of it for years. I use the same example, never change. It's $2,000 in the account, and never put another penny in, and do this trading, and just follow these guys and not do 2 or 3 or 4 or 15% a day. Do 6 or 7% a week. One trade at 6 or 7% a week, and in 2 years of trading, you're going to grow it to $850,000. Never put another penny in, except that original 2,000. That's the power of compounding. And so I'll let Mike can talk about his chart there. Also, Mike, I don't know what that Sabrina Quinn. I don't know what she's asking. You might check that out when you get a chance.
I think it's just a random comment. I don't think it was meant to be a question.
Okay.
Um, perfect. So yes, this is not the longer term that Randy was working on, but it's a shorter term um, chart we have for the MMT. This is a really simplistic chart, and I wanted to kind of, I know we were talking about 21 indicators, and it kind of started to seem overwhelming. So I wanted to show you all it really is broken down into a couple sections here. We'll run through it really quick just as a kind of demo. So the gold line that you see right in the middle, headed down there, that's just the price. Just tracks the price, goes up and down. The three lines in the middle, the white, green, and blue, they are three lines, but they're essentially one indicator, right? It's a set of three lines that we literally call 1, 2, and 3 that go up and down and cross over each other. At the end on the right side there, I wish I had a drawing tool to make this a bit easier. But at the end, you can see that white started to go up above green for the first time in this entire chart, right? And then blue was last. So we have our gold line, we have our three lines in the middle, and then we have those red bands on the outside. You can see all those red bands do is they just get wider and then they get narrower, and they get wider and then they get narrower. That is their function. They go wide, narrow all day, every day till the end of time. Now the bottom looks a touch confusing too, but you can see how it's already getting simpler, right? We have a gold line, we got two red lines that get wider and narrower, and then we have three lines in the middle that cross over each other. Then on this bottom here, there's three lines, but they're really all the same thing. There's a red line and a blue line. And if the red is above the blue, it means something. We just track whether it goes above or below that blue line. That's it. They are different time frames. E1 that you see on top, 1 is the fastest, 2 is medium, and 3 is slow. And that red line just crosses over and below. So in the room, we just teach very, very simple patterns of essentially when the lines are in this order, we behave this way. When the lines widen, we will buy at a certain time. And these are the charts that just kind of clarify that entire process for it. There is something we teach in the beginner to intermediate level underneath E3, but we don't have to worry about that right now. It's just some green and red bars. But I just wanted to show this because, it really is just simple. There's just a gold line that goes up and down, and sometimes it's within those red bands. Sometimes it works out of there. So, if there's any questions on these charts or can share a little bit how they work, then let me know. Is there anything you would add to that, Randy?
No, that's it. We just teach you how to read the crossing of the different colors and when is the appropriate place on the chart that you're looking for to enter a position. And then you just keep looking for that same thing over and over and over again as the stock goes up and down. And so there's always multiple times throughout the course of the day that chart shows that setup that we're looking for. And so Tim gives that coaching every single morning of how to read that chart. And so you can watch and show. He talks about how to identify, and he'll say, there it is right there. And you can watch over and over again and learn how to identify those setups. And it's really, really simple. It's not a bunch of jargon. It's just up the gold line crossed above the white line, buy a call, or it's going down, buy a put. It's pretty simple. You just learn how to read those charts, and the chart tells you what to do, basically.
That's exactly right. Yes, Joe leads that room every day. He's in there helping our traders out, and we're excited for a new year of it. I think we got some changes coming. I know we do, to the different programs and just increasing your guys' visibility and ability to see everything that's going on. We're going to verify all our trades, track them, give you guys a platform to track yours. So I'm really excited.
This is so important, Mike, and Mike is really the key person behind getting all this stuff working. Nobody believes these trades naturally. I mean, who can make that much money? And you only work an hour a day, and you don't worry about what's going to happen in the market. You don't care if it's going up or down. It makes no difference to us which way it's going, because it doesn't make any difference to us. And so Micah has devised various things that you start off in a month or so getting. Every time a trade's done, you actually see the actual trade by Cezanne, by Tim, by Randy, whoever is making a trade. You're going to actually see it. You're going to actually see their account. You're going to see that trade pop in there and pop out as they get in and get out. And so it's not just they're saying something and you don't see it. And then I think there's a couple other things you're doing, aren't you, Micah?
Yes. Yeah, we're going to use those summaries to basically be lessons of how to trade the technique. We're gonna turn all the recaps into accessible lessons for our traders as well. So they'll be able to see, right? You're in the room in the morning for about an hour. And a lot of trades go on, but there's a lot of time in between and a lot of teaching. There's a lot to it, right? So we are going to just boil down the trades and pull them out so you can see trade after trade after trade of exactly how it works. And then when you're in the room, hearing all of that information, hearing all the terms, you're going to understand because you've seen it happen so many.
Yeah, I think too that
simplicity is.
Yeah. It's important though. You can go to our website now, and both on Randy's transactions and our micro moment, you can sign up. I think I know on ours, you get 2 weeks free to follow these trades, just like somebody that's paying, and you're there just like they're there. And Randy has the same thing in his, I believe. So.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, any questions here before we?
This is our last podcast of the year. This is our last podcast of the year.
This is it. Wrapping up 2021. Next week will be 2022.
And if you think, hey, we haven't been doing this very long. We've been doing this a little over 20 years. Randy himself has been with us 15 years. You would think he would have advanced by now, but he's still stuck with his earphones on in front of that screen. He's made no advanced moves whatsoever. So,
yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that's changed is the color of my hair.
There you go.
What a year it has been as well, eh?
Yeah.
What were you saying, Randy?
Said the only thing that's changed is the color of my hair.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Just barely. Just a dust lighter.
Yep.
It's fine.
It's still there. That's the good thing.
Yeah.
And you're a much more famous baseball player now.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have to pull out my baseball card and
I need a baseball card of you. I need your baseball.
I was having lunch yesterday with Dirk Tuesday. Yeah, this Thursday. Tuesday with Dirk, which we do every Tuesday. And something came up. I said, well, what's Randy doing? And Dirk said, Randy's playing baseball. You know, that's what he's doing. He's just playing baseball.
Yeah, getting ready. Next tournament's the first week in February down in Fort Myers, so we'll be hitting. I got to get back to working out again.
Yeah. Always ready. All righty, guys. Well, thank you so much for participating in the show this year. We do have some changes coming to it soon. We're upgrading it for you guys, making it a really awesome learning experience for people that don't even necessarily trade with us, but just trade anything. It's going to be massively different and upgraded, and we're even going to get fancy lights soon, so that we have some nice light on our face. You can see us clearly. So really excited to upgrade the podcast. It's all coming soon.
Micah, what's the temperature up to this point? No.
Temperature, it is currently 10 degrees.
Below
10 degrees.
Or 10 degrees?
No, positive. It's about 15 to 20 degrees warmer than it has been in a week.
Wonder why you're sweating.
So, I know, it's balmy.
You normally have on that toboggan hat, you know, when you.
Yeah.
For the cold.
Yeah,
I'm up in North Carolina this week, watching my granddaughters because my daughter and son-in-law are heading down to the Orange Bowl. But having a heat wave up here, it's like 70 degrees.
Yeah, that's what we have. We have
Jeez.
70 degrees right now, and it's going to be through New Year's night. But New Year's morning, it's going to go from 70, a little over 70 to 21 degrees in a very few hours.
Yeah.
Sounds about Montana. Yeah, it was negative 26 last week with wind chill.
Oh,
And enjoy the heat wave while you can.
okay.
Yeah, if the heat wave gets us to 10 degrees, and I don't want to know what it's
That's why I don't live in Montana.
like without
Well,
it.
Yeah, I have to go. Micah, thank you very much for being here this morning. Thanks for emceeing these things. It's been a good year for us on the podcast, and Randy. And but I have
Happy
to go.
New
I'll see
Happy New Year to everybody.
See you later.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Okay.
Bye.